Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Chloe and today we're going to be talking about the zodiac sign Gemini, the archetype of the zodiac sign Gemini, not just Gemini suns, not just Gemini moons, not just Gemini Mercuries. This is just the archetype of Gemini. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac. It rules over the third house in astrology, but it might not rule over your third house. With that being said, the third house is still associated with Gemini energy no matter what. But you may have a Gemini ascendant. If you do, Gemini rules your first house. And the ruling planet of your first house is Mercury because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. But we'll get into that later in the video. The house in your chart where Gemini rules, the cusp. And for those that don't know, the cusp is the degree in which the house starts. I only do whole sign astrology. That's where the house and the sign line up, so there's no interceptions. With that being said, I'm trying to keep this as basic as possible. There are videos out there on interceptions. If you're interested in that, if you want to learn more, please do. But this video is strictly on Gemini, so I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. The cusp that Gemini rules, whether it be your first house, fifth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth house, 10th house, whatever house, wherever it is, this is the area of life that your curiosity comes to life. This will be the area that you think about quite often and talk about a lot. And because Gemini is a sign of change, this house can bring lots of changes to it. Lots of changes to the affairs associated with this house that is ruled by Gemini in your chart. The twins embody this zodiac archetype. It is the symbol for Gemini, the twins. The twins represent Gemini individuals' faceted, multifaceted nature, their dualistic quality. It symbolizes two distinct sides of Gemini: happy, sad, good, bad. Two distinct sides or personas that can exist within a Gemini. You might feel as if your fellow Gemini friend, brother, sister, whoever, yourself, is like two people on the inside, like split personalities almost. Like one minute they're this and the next minute they're that, kind of like bipolar. Now, this is a spectrum, obviously. It can vary from individual to individual. We are not all just Gemini. You may be a Gemini sun with a Libra moon. You may be a Gemini moon with a Libra sun. It can just vary strongly from person to person. But if you're a Gemini sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, which is possible, you'll resonate probably very strongly with this video. This is, again, just about the archetype. I just want to express that. This is not a personalized Gemini sun, Gemini moon video. This is strictly just the archetype of Gemini and the things that Gemini rule over in astrology. Gemini is flexible, adaptable, and curious, and also a very intellectually inclined sign. Gemini individuals are known for their quick wit, their communication skills, and their adaptability. Here are some tips on how to spot a Gemini. They usually have either very long arms or legs or fingers. They usually talk with their hands or use a lot of hand gestures. And they're usually very, very, very talkative. They usually even talk with their hands like I'm doing right now. Gemini is an air sign, and air signs represent the intellect. They represent communication skills and thoughts, ideas, and social interactions with others. Those with a strong Gemini influence in their chart often have a natural affinity for communication, learning, and the power of words. They excel in exchanging ideas, engaging in intellectual discussions, or just discussions in general. They don't even have to be intellectual. And gathering knowledge from all sorts of different sources. I mean, these are the individuals that they know a little bit about everything, but they don't know a lot about a lot, if that makes sense. Like, they know a little bit about everything, but like not a lot about one subject. Usually, The ruling planet of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is my favorite. Well, I mean, I don't want to be biased, but I love Mercury so much. Mercury's in my first house, so I'm mercurial by nature. I relate to Gemini very, very much. If you have Mercury in your first house, you'll also relate to Gemini energy, but that's a whole nother video. Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of mental processes. Mercury amplifies the intellectual abilities of Gemini, giving Gemini individuals sharp thinking, analytical skills, and a knack for processing information. They are typically excellent at communicating and can effortlessly express their thoughts and ideas. Gemini is a mutable sign, and mutable signs are adaptable, open-minded, expansive, and kind of all over the place. Gemini possesses a flexible and adaptable nature. Geminis can usually easily adjust to new situations. They typically embrace change and new experience, and they thrive in diverse environments. This mutable quality also makes them open-minded, allowing them to easily explore multiple areas of interest and to easily adapt to new circumstances. Gemini individuals are often characterized as social butterflies, as they enjoy connecting with others and socializing. They are naturally very curious about people and the natural world around them. They tend to be great at asking really good questions, and they do ask a lot of questions. They have a thirst for knowledge. Even if it makes them look unintelligible to other people, they'll still ask the question. They want to know, genuinely. Curiosity fuels their desire to engage in meaningful conversation and build relationships, various relationships of all different kinds. The archetype of Gemini encourages continuous learning, intellectual growth, and the exploration of different topics and perspectives. People with Gemini energy, they don't like to take life too seriously. They like the lighter aspects of life, the lighter side of life, like cracking jokes and socializing with others on a less heavy note. Geminis tend to be witty and charming, and they love to make an impact on people using their wit and their charm, possibly coming off as a flirt, even if they're not knowledgeable of such acts. It could be kind of tough to keep up with a restless, inquisitive Gemini. They like to be and often are on the go all the time, mentally and physically, moving their bodies a lot, such as biting their nails, twisting their hair, tapping their fingers or feet on the ground, using lots of hand gestures. They usually have excellent hand-eye coordination, like they're very good at using their hands. Like making jewelry or making something of some sort, they're really good at using their hands, and it trains their brain in a way that's really good for them, because they can be kind of all over the place, and so finding a practice with their hands can just serve them really good. But yeah, even though they have this excellent hand-eye coordination, they can sometimes be very clumsy as well. Of course, it depends on the individual. Gemini's opposite sign is Sagittarius. The axis that they're both on is the axis of knowledge and learning. So Sagittarius is a sign of higher learning, such as college, and a sign of religion, philosophy, knowledge and wisdom. The opposite of that is Gemini. Gemini is a sign of surface level information, or just information in general, like facts about certain things. Gemini and the third house of Gemini rules over things like short trips, such as errands, vehicles, like driving here to there, not long trips, that's Sagittarius. Short trips is Gemini, so errands, your neighbors, your siblings, mail, contracts, books, walking, writing, speaking, and paper are all Gemini and third house things. And Gemini individuals have a thirst for knowledge, and they're often engaged in lifelong pursuits, like lifelong like a lifelong student. So like, whereas Gemini is like the student, Sagittarius is like the teacher. Sagittarius can learn a lot about themselves through Gemini, and Gemini can learn a lot about themselves through Sagittarius. They're each other's sister signs. They're each other's polar opposites. What Sagittarius lacks in, Gemini has, and what Gemini lacks in, Sagittarius has. Now, they do oppose. The opposition aspect is polarizing. It's conflicting. It's different. It's like a tug. It's like a, you know, like a tug and pull type of thing. But it's ultimately, like, I love it. Geminis usually have a knack for multitasking. Like, they can be thinking of 2 different thoughts at the same time. They can be doing 2 different things at the same time and excel at it. Like, it's crazy. And not many people have that ability. They can just juggle projects and interests simultaneously. Like, it's really cool. With their air element, their mutable modality, and their ruling planet Mercury, Gemini possess excellent communication skills, adaptability and curiosity, and a natural inclination towards learning and social connection. Geminis bring a sense of vibrancy, intellectual stimulation, and adaptability to the world around them. If you're interested in learning more about Gemini, I have a video titled Gemini, Life Lessons and Challenges. To learn more about the darker aspects of Gemini, I didn't really touch on too many dark aspects of Gemini because I wanted that to be like a separate video, but I hope this video is insightful, helpful. I hoped that you learned something new, and thank you so much for being here with me and watching this video all the way through. You are awesome, especially because you're a Gemini, and some Geminis have short attention spans, but I'm so proud of you right now for diving into self-knowledge, self-awareness. That is such a beautiful thing. And if you would like to see more content from me, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your fellow Gemini friends or family. I love you all so very, very much, and I hope you have a blessed day, week, year, every day of your life.